Three very important reasons to watch this review here together with me. The first and most important one, my mom has asked me if she should get this car here as her next vehicle. I'll also get into that story later on. Second reason is there are more and more expensive cars on the market, but there are also still affordable ones like this one here. And it's very important that there are still affordable cars out there. And the third good reason, SEAT is still alive with this vehicle. They say we're still here. It's not only about Cupra, because this is here the updated SEAT Arona, and we are going to go into the detail of all the updates, exterior and interior, and we're going to drive it here for you today with Thomas Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the updated Arona in the new Oniric vehicle color. This refers to like a dreamland, this color name, and I would say it's maybe like a light turquoise green, something like that. Very interesting. And a new front grille, so the frame is new. It looks more like an Ateca now, and also the inside here with the sporty honeycomb style, so to speak. Also new lower bumper. This is the mid-trim style level here. Then updated lamps. And the main headlamp is underneath, now all full LED from base. And no matter if you go for the base LED or the little bit upgrade, the option, in both cases the main headlamp unit has double the beam range in the low beam and the tripled lighting length, you know, the range in the high beam. That's pretty good. And this upgrade only consists then, if you go from the base LED to the so-called SEAT full LED, that you have this new signature here. And the signature now is slimmer than before and also counts for the indicators, of course. The length, due to the new bumper, is just slightly tiny bit longer, now at 4.16 m or 164 inches. It's a small SUV. It's a brother or sister all to the SEAT Ibiza in the technological sense, just that this one is the SUV model. And the Ibiza also gets all the similar upgrades like the Arona then here. And you can see here in the side profile, this is the Manhattan Grey contrast roof. You can either get the roof in vehicle color or in Manhattan Grey or in black. So these three possibilities are possible, and then you can also have different combinations, of course. 16 to 18 inch in the wheels. These are the biggest 18 inch. Of course, then, so to speak, the least in comfort, but the best in looks, and also new wheel styles are available, and still SUV typical, these contrasting wheel arches. It's always front wheel drive, soon more to the engines. And then you can see in the rear updated some styling elements here as well. For example, the lower bumper is renewed. And when we talk about the Autogefühl fake exhaust police, I would maybe say it's not exactly a fake exhaust, but it's maybe a graphic that is derived from the idea of a fake exhaust. So I think the Autogefühl fake exhaust police can maybe say, okay, maybe you don't get a ticket or a fine today. Or what's your opinion on that? And of course, so many storylines here with the Arona. By the way, also an updated lettering here in the lower part that looks a little bit artistic, so to speak. And the first storyline, as I said, is should my mom get this one as the next vehicle? Couple of years back, she asked me like, which one shall I get? You know, after my dad sadly passed away, and you know, that's one of the most horrible things you can possibly endure, if you know what I'm talking about. She just wanted like a small, affordable car for herself, and then we were looking around what's the right choice, and I said, maybe like a SEAT Arona or VW T-Cross. They are both similar. Small car, you can get in and out easy, not too high in the costs. The grandparents can also get in easily in the rear and so on. Like, these were the aspects. And then the leasing ran out, and then she switched. Impossible to pronounce, right? She switched to SEAT Ibiza because she thought, that was maybe a little bit lower in the leasing rate, but then the insurance was higher. So after all, she's now paying more for the Ibiza, and it's not super happy with the switch and wants to go back to the Arona. Now there's the updated Arona, and when the leasing now ends, she asked me, should I get this updated version? And I think from the exterior it works very well. Let's see also about the interior about that. Now towards the interior, standard key fob, then door closing sounds. It's actually quite good. The rear maybe not. That sounds a little bit like echo-ish, but the front is fine. Rear not. Here, by the way, these are just like the standard rubber seals, you know, at the door top and also at the bottom. And then here, inside of the doors, some updates. So the top part is still hardback, but at least it has like a structure. Then is new, we have a fabric insert here. So this is more, you know, high-class atmosphere then in that respect. Here is also a little bit soft for the elbow, could maybe be a little bit softer. Still here hardback at the inside of the doors, and then also upgrades here. So first of all, new air vents, they are round now and have in this trim level here the contrast on the inside part. Then also the dashboard here is soft now with a structure. This is actually cool. And also this one was hard, really just hard pack, and this has a new surface. It's not really soft in a way that you can push it in, but the surface feels soft and also matte-ish, so this is an upgrade as well. Steering wheel, contrast stitches on the inside, real buttons still, for example also for the volume jog, cruise control, right side to control the digital instruments, and new seats. They're always fabric, and this is a new fabric here with the special pattern and also this turquoise color. Different fabric seats are available. This one here officially the style trim level. So indeed, some cool updates for the interior already that makes it a little bit, you know, more elaborated. Then the seats are also very comfortable even for tall people. With 189, 6'2", I have enough headroom left. Comfortable upright seating position is also easier to get in and out if you compare it, for example, to a SEAT Ibiza. Then steering wheel, manual up and down, in and out, so you can find a very cozy seating position. And now welcome to this new cockpit. Also on this side you can see this new surface and you can hear how matte it feels. Basically, it is nicely done. And also here the soft touch dashboard. It also has here a different form now than before. It's a little bit more sculptural, so to speak. Then again, the new air vent also at the side for the passenger, and also the new air vents for the central part here. Once again with this contrast color, but there are different variations, of course, available. I like that we still have physical climate dials, so this turning knob here, and the lower part then for the fan speed. So this highly appreciated. Also seat heating, separate button, 2 USB-C chargers in the lower part, and this is now 15 watt, the inductive charging pad if you pick this one, and it's also ventilated. So this was also one feature my mom was asking for, if the inductive charging pad has been updated. And yeah, it's indeed the case. You have the entry-level versions with the manual, this one here 1.5 with the DSG, then you have this automatic shifting lever that works like this, start-stop engine button. It also has this pulsing effect like a heartbeat. We know that Jaguar back in the days introduced that feature. Seat and Cupra took that over basically. Cup holders are in several sizes, but they're not really adaptive. I would like if they have maybe like an adaptive function that keep the things tight. Then for rally racing you still have a manual handbrake. This is maybe to put the key fob there, 12-volt power supply. Here could be a little bit softer for your elbow from this fabric cover, but some more storage underneath. Then the glove box is actually not too tiny, but you see here it's not dampened, it just folds down. This maybe could be optimized in that respect. And then as for the screens and so on, so the base version would start with around 8-inch. This one here, optional 9-inch, so a little bit larger as for the screen. Yeah, I mean, there is not like a all new update on this one, but there have been some software updates. You can see here Apple CarPlay is in there, of course. But my mom was also asking for if there is like a completely new infotainment system. It's not completely new, but of course there's the latest software version on it. Let's take it that way. Other than that, as I said, on the steering wheel you still have the manual controls. You also have shifting pedals here, so you can use these also to put gears upper or lower than with the DSG. And the digital instruments, they are either starting 8-inch or these ones here then optional 10-inch. And here we are. I love these analog digital gauges. This is my favorite view, but you can also put different views in there how you like. And very important here, to deactivate the EU speed chime thing, there we go, here, there's like the speed warning and you can deactivate it, and you just basically do it by scrolling here at the steering wheel and then confirm it. Now to the rear seats. First of all, inside of the door is all hard pack, so this is more or less everything basic. Isofix here at the outside each, you know, like just there's like this slot for that, and also the new fabric pattern for the rear seats, and it's pretty cool. It looks nice, it feels nice, and these individual pads, they're almost like a quilting, so to speak. They really also increase the comfort, so I like this upgrade indeed. There's nothing you can fold down there, but three adults could theoretically sit here. You can see this does fit exactly when I'm also driving. This is astonishing considering it's a 4 meters 16, 164 inches vehicle in length. So good usage of space, and this is also the concept of this small SUV and even headroom wise. So astonishing that on this short length we can have a good space, and it's even comfortable to sit here. So of course, I mean, there are cars with more legroom, but considering the length is actually really good, and also the whole seating position is also upright here in the rear. So yeah, we could also drive with mother together here, you know, Leah and I, and someone could even sit behind. Now to the trunk or the boot, which is at 400 liters, actually quite good for such a small vehicle. This one also fits in the vertical underneath, and it's also a little bit flexible. First of all, the normal width is about 1.40 meters. Then the normal length here is about 29 inches or 75 centimeters. And the cool thing is here, you can have it more even here, or you can also lift it, just like full replacement tire underneath, by the way, and here the subwoofer and this trim. But here you can put it like this, so you have more height, and you still have a nice transition right here. So that's actually quite cool. And let me take out the top part here. That can also take you with the latest measurements on the height. So there we go, and then we are about 33 inches or 84 centimeters in the total height, and that's pretty cool. And now I could also reach over here to fold everything when the top part is down, and there you can see you have this transition here that is like covered, I think can fall in there. And then we are at the total length of about 58 inches or 1 meters 47. And of course, when the seats are folded like this, then I can put this one here up again, that there's a more even, smooth transition to the back seats. Under the hood, what do we have? This is here the top engine, 1.5 liter 4-cylinder, 150 horsepower, always with a 7-speed DSG, around 8 seconds in the acceleration figure. Entry-level engine would be a 1 liter 3-cylinder turbo, then with 95 or with 115 horsepower, 95 manual, and the 115 horsepower you can get with manual or with the DSG. Then there was the second big story, and of course about affordable cars, because new car prices are now at average like 50,000 euros or dollars. This one of course way below that. We don't have like the final new prices, but it starts like around 20-something thousand. So if you then think high trimmers, then 30-something, so between then 25 or 30 something, you will end up with your Seat Arona, and that's still then affordable in comparison to other vehicles. Yeah, for example, like this, like a BMW 4 Series convertible, beautiful car as well. Looks like a similar color than today here, right? And of course here Seat is the third big storyline, because the recent years have all been about Cupra. This new Cupra model, another new Cupra model, and so on and so on. But however, people still kept buying Seat because of the lower prices. And yes, they didn't invest so much money in the development of this brand. There were no all new models and so on. And there were even thoughts of maybe they cancel the Seat brand, or Seat becomes like a mobility brand or something like that. Now recently there also have been some changes in the Volkswagen Group management and so on, also at Seat, and now they are thinking about, yeah, maybe we keep the brand because people still want to buy affordable vehicles. And this is now again the first investment again in this facelift for the Ibiza and the Arona, to say we're still here, we're still alive, the brand is not going to die. That's like the current message here also for this new vehicle, and we are of course keep you updated with this story as soon as we can find out more if there will be maybe like all new models. They also announced that we'll at a later stage also bring new mild hybrid engines and plug-in hybrid and so on. So we're looking forward to that, to keep the Seat brand definitely. Also very important for all our fans in Spain. You know, Auto Sensación is our Spanish channel. So always welcome when you're from you know, a Spanish speaking country to join the Auto Sensación translation. Now driving the new SEAT Arona. Why would you buy this vehicle? Well, narrow parking spot here. This is one of the reasons. Rear view camera, resolution could be better, but you can actually, finally dose it, how you approach the vehicle, especially with the DSG. Light steering, and you're directly out of this narrow parking gap, and that makes it actually so easy. Starting here on the Ibiza island, usually narrow streets, a lot of cars parked at the side of the road, some speed humps and so on, and you just feel comfortable because the car itself is small, and that's the case in a lot of villages in Spain, especially, where this vehicle is also very, very popular, and of course also for Germany. The DSG makes it easier here. This one here, the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder with 150 horsepower, all with the DSG. The smaller 1 liter 3-cylinder engine, either manual or with DSG. And of course here, especially like when you are in a city surrounding, have a lot of stop and go, then it's a really smooth way here just to use the dual clutch transmission, and you don't have to use the clutch all the time. So I would actually also go for this one then. Steering is indeed, once again, very light, easy to handle. Still, it has no dead zone area, and you still have a feeling for the vehicle. And then also the main difference to the SEAT Ibiza is that here in the Arona you sit a little bit higher. It's a beautiful view here to the Mediterranean Sea here. So you sit a little bit higher, therefore you have a more comfortable seating position, you have a better overview, can see what's happening. Here in the speed humps, also fairly good from suspension. We do have the 18-inch wheels here. They make, of course, the sportiest, stiffest ride in a way. Still, you can't say that this is like a particularly sporty car or something like that, So it's more about having, moved into a little sporty direction with the big wheel choice and of course the visual attraction. And if you go for the small wheels, then you have more comfort. If you would stick, for example, with the 16-inch base wheels, just have more dampening from the tire left, which makes it then more comfortable in the driving. But still, it also works with the 18-inch. And this upright seating position, together with the automatic gearbox and some refinements here on the interior, also make it a pleasant drive here in the inner city surroundings. And now it's time for acceleration from 40 to 100. Let's go. Well, that's it. And it was even slightly uphill, and yeah, that's why we would pick the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. I would say this is sufficient acceleration for the size of this vehicle. And now here at about 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour.
It's silent, yeah.
Yeah, still okay from the noise. Can't drive much faster here today, but I think that's totally fine. And also how stable it is at, lower motorway speeds, let's take it that way, is also fine. So this is also a thing of this vehicle. So you buy it for city driving and so on, but if you go on the motorway, it's no problem, and you can also take it for a holiday trip. And I like that about vehicles that can actually do everything. So I don't like vehicles that much that have run very, very tiny specific use case and you can't use it for anything else. And here you can actually have different use cases. That's what I find actually quite cool with that. We also have assistance systems, of course. And we can set it here, left side of the steering wheel. To activate it here first. There we go, blind spot monitor. Here also very helpful. And now we can set, for example, the speed. And this one also, here, put individual kilometer steps.
Rear buttons.
And rear buttons at the steering wheel, indeed. Here 10 kilometer steps is also possible. Then here with the left thumb. There's also here this assistance system view available, for example. Once again, blind spot monitor. And even as the motorway is here slightly bending to the left, it's doing it in a very smooth way. And also here the hands-on detection is really sensitive, so you don't have to move the steering wheel or so. So it's actually also quite elaborate here already from the assistance systems. I like that. So this is really the thing about this vehicle. Every single driving maneuver you can just okay, check, 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 check. As for the consumption, we didn't drive too high speeds, however, but you know, a lot of stop and go, also some accelerations. Ended up with about 6 liters on 1 kilometer, so about 40 mpg US, 47 mpg UK. Not too great for such a small vehicle, so low fuel economy. That would be rather with a Toyota hybrid like the Toyota Yaris Cross as well. That, however, new elaborated interior feels more premium. I really like the seats. I also like the exterior. It's a great package. You can do everything with this vehicle. City driving, motorway, it's silent enough. You have a lot of space on the interior. It drives very well. It drives very smooth, how it's handling and so on. So it's a almost perfect small around the vehicle, which is still affordable. As I said, something, you know, 20,000 to 30,000 euros. Prices will probably go up a little bit, but still relatively affordable in comparison to other vehicles. And that's the main thing about the Seat Arona, the overall packaging. And that's why I can indeed again recommend it as the new lease for my mom. So best greetings, of course, especially to my mom today, and also to all you guys out there. And I think it was a very beautiful view here also from the island of Ibiza. Can also recommend it for a holiday trip, or of course if you're also into trance DJs like I. And then check out some of the competitors right now.